Hello, my beautiful angels. It is Olivia Grace, and I'm back with another video. I am offering coaching, guys. I am offering custom revision, custom sat scenes, and custom affirmations. All that stuff will be in the description. And today we're talking about living and manifesting as a god or a goddess. And you guys, this shit right here, this is going to change your manifestation game with everything that you could be manifesting. I had a session with a client and also made some custom affirmations for her surrounding living as a god or goddess and manifesting that way. And she saw movement immediately with her SP. And now they've been in constant contact when they hadn't been talking. So it works, you guys. But anyways, let's get into how and like, what am I talking about by doing this, right? So a lot of the time, especially when we're manifesting, well, a lot of the time, period, we are manifesting from the state of being our avatar, which is who Olivia is, my avatar. Olivia is not who I am, though. It is who I am being, right? So, but there is a being behind Olivia that is being me, right? So I know you guys, I'm like, as I'm saying this, I'm like, this sounds confusing, but I know you guys understand what I'm talking about. So God is that being that is being me, right? The more that you identify with that God self, the easier it is for you to manifest any fucking thing. Easier, quicker, less resistance, less spiraling, less anything. Okay? Now, and I actually want to include a meditation that I found, which is like literally I manifested finding it, but is like the most perfect meditation for you to actually experience this. And in the meditation, he talks about that you can't think yourself really into awareness, which I won't get into that because that's going to like send me on a tangent, but you can just experience being though, right? You can experience being in the state of the one who is behind all of the states. And I've been talking about this a bit in the video where I was talking about being a master at jumping realities, right? That is like a great example of a God state. But what does that state actually feel like, right? And how to get into it. That's what I'm talking about in this video. So when you think about things from the state of being God, right? From the state of being the creator, the one that put, Alan Watts says galactifies the galaxies, right? The one that put all this shit together. When you look at it from that state, whatever it is that you're manifesting, it goes from this big to this small. Because you, like, as the avatar, it may seem difficult, but to God, it is absolutely nothing. But how do you actually get in there? So what I noticed is the feeling of being in that state is a feeling of ease, right? The feeling of ease, and this is something too I meant to put in the money video, but the feeling of ease, you guys, goes so well with pretty much anything that you're creating. It's an idea, like if you think about having, being a millionaire or something like that, there's a certain amount of ease that comes into your life when you have that. When you're a millionaire and you have a personal chef to make all of your meals for you, you don't even have to think about what you want. It's just there. You know what I mean? You have somebody to do all your chores, to clean your house, to take your car to get washed. There's a certain level of ease, right? But let's take this to the God state of manifesting, like literally really identifying with that God that is you. Everything is easy to God. Nothing is difficult to God, right? So that's the first thing, you guys, is creating the feeling of ease. And what I'm really doing, you guys, in this video, in the money video, and really a lot of videos that I'm telling you guys, is I'm giving you kind of a backdoor entryway into the state. Because sometimes when we're wanting to get into a state, but we don't know how to get there. We don't really know how does that feel? Or how would that even feel? We don't know. But we know how it feels to feel ease. It's like, again, which I talked about in a couple other videos, that relaxation, that I don't need to worry, that everything is fine. that secure feeling. So ease, and just, you can practice, like, when you're manifesting, right? Or when you're doing your technique, or when you're thinking of your desire, or even when you're having doubts, you can remind yourself, I am a god, though. I am a goddess. This is easy for me. Everything is easy for me. And it truly is, you guys. For your true self, it is easy for you. We have just accepted limitation. That's how we're in these bodies, is because we accepted limitation. But we also are in these bodies, I believe, I don't really quite believe in a purpose per se, but I believe that us, especially us that have come across manifestation in this lifetime, I do believe that we are here to, we came into limitation, but we're here to go beyond it in this form of a human. So remind yourself that everything is easy for you now, because you're a god. You manifest like a goddess. Even that's a great affirmation to say, you guys. Believing that you manifest like a god. Telling yourself you manifest like magic, like abracadabra, it poofs like out of nowhere. Really like immersing yourself in these beliefs. And before I continue, you guys, this is something that I actually, that really clicked for me when I was watching Manifest with Kimberly's video on states. And she was talking about every single day, you guys, every single day you choose who you are, which actually perfectly goes with what I was about to talk about next. But you guys, please understand, you need to practice this every single day. Not only every single day, but I highly, highly, highly recommend that you do this at the beginning of your day, because your day is full of evidence of who you believe that you are, who you have been believing that you are, right? So it's best that before you go into your day, you decide again who you are. Because a lot of the time we're maybe looking at yesterday. Well, yesterday I didn't get anything that I wanted, so that's just the type of person I am. Fuck that. Fuck what happened yesterday. Fuck what happened every day except right this fucking moment, and decide this, in this moment from now on, I manifest like a god. I manifest with so much ease. It's so easy for me to manifest everything I want, and I always get what I want. Okay? All right, that's actually another thing too, but let me take my time because I'm getting ahead of myself. So the next part is deciding, okay? This is what we are doing in manifestation anyway. Every story that you have, or that you subscribe to, or every belief that you subscribe to, is a story that you accepted about yourself, okay? You decided that this is true. I used to talk about this metaphor, like, for instance, if you're 6'5", and somebody came and started making short jokes with you, or telling you're so short, you're whatever, poking fun at you, would it hurt your feelings? No, it wouldn't hurt your feelings, because you know that it's not true, right? So this is the same thing when it comes to like things that are going on in our lives, or like how we're identifying. It's our identity. It's not so much the things that are going on around us. It's our identity about who we believe we are that really allows the trigger to trigger you. Okay. So you can decide, even let's say you're, whatever, with your SP, and you haven't heard from them all day today, right? Like, if you're in the mind state, or you're deciding that, well, I'm unwanted, and that's why I haven't heard from them, because they don't want to talk to me. That's the lens that you're seeing it through. You can decide though, like, because here's the thing, you guys, we're making our decisions based off of 3D evidence, right? And I talked about this, I think, in the last video, and I'll say it again, but we're making our decisions, we're deciding who we are based off of 3D, right? We know that 3D is made up of our past thoughts and assumptions. So we are perpetually recreating the past when we do that. So your decision, this is what the law of assumption is. When you're assuming something, there's no proof of an assumption, okay? This is why you don't look to 3D when you're assuming something. An assumption of something is that you're claiming it as true without any facts, without any proof, okay? So that is what the law of assumption is. But deciding, living as a god, living as a goddess, think about this right now. Let's say there's 1 trillion planets in the galaxy right now. Whatever, that's wrong as fuck, but let's say that it is. And God decided, I wish it was 1,000,000,001. Do you think God is going to be like, oh my God, I already created this whole galaxy and it's already 1,000,000,000, and how am I going to make it 1,000,000,001 if it's already 1,000,000,000? I don't even, no, he's just going to, oh, okay, I'd like that to be 1,000,000,001. So it is, period. That's the story of creation in the Bible. He said, let there be light, and it was. Like, it wasn't, but how is there going to be light when there's only darkness? Like, you understand what I'm saying? I'm saying that, like, this, when you're living and manifesting as a God, you are calling those things that are unseen as though they were, you guys. You're calling those things that are unseen as though they were, okay? So whatever it is that you're creating, you're calling it forth as though it was, right? This is why Abdullah kept telling Neville that you're in Barbados, even though you're in New York right now, even though you don't have a penny, even though you don't have a clue, you don't have any way to get there, you're in Barbados, because he's calling forth the unseen, Barbados, as though it were. You're already there. You already went. Okay? So that decision, though, this is so fucking huge, guys. And I feel like I'm talking a lot, but you guys internalize, I'm giving y'all a lot of good shit. Okay? So when you're making the decision, though, like, to, first of all, that you can and do manifest like a God, because you do, and you are, but that every single thing that you're wanting is a decision for you. That's it. It's no requirement for you to go from here to there. There's no requirement for you to, like, it, because we want proof first. We want 3D to change, and then we can claim who we want to be. We want SP to come begging for us, and then we can claim that we're wanted and loved. You're claiming that first, and that's going to be reflected. But what I'm saying is, you guys, make the decision. Okay, so that's number 2. All right, make the decision. Make decisions. Just decide, you guys. This is how it's going to be. Don't wait for anything to validate that for you. Just decide. This is how it's going to be. That's what my client did, and she got movement immediately with her SB. Okay, decide. All right, and then fudge. I had one last thing that I brought up before I got into all of that. That's important as well when you're manifesting like a god or goddess, whatever. But anyways, it was the ease, you guys. So ease and deciding. These two things are super, like, when you actually come into the state, which I'm going to talk about now, of being the creator, not like detach from who you are being, right? And realize that you are the chooser. You are the decider of who you get to be. Almost like an actor choosing his role. I talk about this in other videos too. When you think about Denzel is not like, oh my God, I'm a mad, like, policeman. I'm like crazy. I'm stuck in train. I can't be anything but that. No, he knows that he's just playing that part, and he can decide to play a different part. Okay? That actor, that is God, playing multiple infinite versions of you. All right? Now, how do we access this consciousness, right? And I'm going to attach a meditation for you guys to try, because it's freaking amazing. But we can do this really quick, you guys. If you're in a place where you can kind of close your eyes and just kind of relax, and just, I want you, like, there is a part of you that is hearing me, right? That's the part of you that is awareness. That is not awareness, but that is like listening. That's your avatar listening to me speak. Okay? Now I want you to just become aware of that part of you that is aware, right? Like, I'm speaking, you're hearing me, but who's hearing me, right? That's that awareness. You can be aware, like, okay, I'm listening. There's a me, I'm listening to her. Or even whatever thoughts you're having, like, this girl's going on and on and on. Observe that. I'm observing myself, like, listening to this girl go on and on and on. Now take it a step further and observe yourself observing. And when you do that, you guys, like I said, this is not a really good example because you want to be in a meditative state doing this. But you're experiencing the one behind the state. And when you experience and identify with the one behind the state, you guys, you are not attached, because that is the thing about manifesting that makes it difficult, okay, is that we're attached to who we are. We're attached to who we've been. We're attached to how things have been for us all this time. And we take these things and accept it as this is who I am. This is what life is for me, right? But when you know, just like I said with Denzel, oh, well, I guess I'm just this killer cop that's like crazy and crooked and all this stuff. This is just who I am, right? But when you come into the state of the one behind that, that realizes this is just a role that I'm playing, okay? This is just a role that I'm playing, and I'm about to make another short video after this one to talk about how to do this in real time when you're having like triggering thoughts. But when you're identifying with the God behind the states, you're not attached to what is, because you know that it's simply just a story that you told. And because you're aware, because you're God, you can decide to be someone different, okay? A lot of actors shoot multiple movies at once. So that means that they're coming into a role and being this one person fully, and then they're coming into a completely different role. I actually think that Rachel McAdams was shooting Mean Girls and The Notebook at the same time. I'm not quite sure, but I feel like I heard that. And I mean, I didn't even know for the longest time that Regina George was Rachel McAdams, because that's so like, her characters are usually like more like, the Notebook type characters. Like, she's more into romantic comedies and always the sweet, wife. So I didn't know that she could be such like a bitch, like in Mean Girls, how she was. But because that's not who she is. She's not Regina. She's not whatever her name was in The Notebook. She's Rachel McAdams. So it's a detachment from that. And I'm not going to keep going on and on and on, because I think that I've hit everything that I want to hit. I actually think I forgot something, but maybe I'll make another video if I remember. But number one things, you guys, is identify with the person behind the state, not the state itself, okay? Start practicing ease, however that is for you. Start suggesting to yourself that things are very easy for you, because if you are in your God state, they are, okay? Everything is easy for you. Nothing is hard for you, all right? Just start suggesting it to yourself. It's okay if it's not. Again, we're not looking to 3D for validation, because 3D is showing us our past, okay? So it's okay if it doesn't sink in right away, but keep continuously telling yourself that, all right? And, yeah, I don't know, guys. At this point, I've been talking so damn much. Y'all seen everything I said. But anyways, I love you guys. I'm probably about to make another couple videos before the sun really just completely disappears. But yeah, love you guys. I intend that this helps. I know that it does. You got this shit. I love you.